Hey, hello. Hey, this is Jeff here. Hey, from bushy, beautiful New Zealand. So good to be with you today. I want to take you through three critical things that without these three things, your soul will literally die. It will literally die. These are the most important things for you if you're in any kind of business, have any kind of dream, have any kind of motion in your life. And look, I fully know that virtually no one, this is a new challenge, will be watching a new channel, a YouTube channel. Virtually no one will be watching this video. No one. So my goal here is to dance like nobody is watching, to perform, to give you my absolute best without fear of anybody commenting or saying anything, even saying hello in the comments. But if you do, that's okay. You can say hello below. That's totally fine. But I just want to give you my absolute best. And since no one's watching, I really should have zero fear, right? So let's just jump in and let's have a look at the three things. If you've got a piece of paper, grab a piece of paper because I'm going to draw an iceberg on the piece of paper. And we're going to take you through our iceberg model for really discovering the three things that matter most to you. So let's jump in right here. Here you can see the outline of an iceberg. So I'm going to draw on here. I'm going to draw the outline of the iceberg, just the top of it, just the top of the iceberg here. Now you'll be aware that about 10%, only 10% of an iceberg sits above the water. And only 10% of your life are the thing in your business are the things that people actually see. The tangible things that are in your spreadsheet, they're in your life, they're the things you own, the money you have in your bank account, the tangible things. Only about 10% sits above the water. Only 10% sits right here. And it's so easy to focus on the stuff that you can see and to get fixated on the stuff that you can see and to think that if we just throw enough wind at the iceberg, we can change the direction of the iceberg, that we can push it through the water if we just have enough of the things that we think will really matter. And we're always looking for a shortcut to success. We're always looking for a shiny rabbit. Right? Some bright, new, promising young thing that will make us satisfied. Or we're looking for some kind of secret, some mystical secret, right? And there really is no secret, because the truth is, it doesn't matter how much wind, how much shit you throw at the top of the iceberg, it won't move. It won't move because the direction of the iceberg is dictated to by the base of the iceberg, by the current in the water, by what's underneath the iceberg. And we know that that's 90%. So 90% of what you don't see in your life and in your business is going to dictate the direction of it. Is it going to increase? Are you going to flourish? Are you going to thrive? Are you going to have energy to take on the world? It's all about the things that we don't really see, that we don't really measure, but they're the three critical things that will absolutely change the life of your business. So my question for you, if you're not watching on YouTube, if nobody is here, my question for you, and I'm going to listen very hard, is, do I have permission today to, instead of having a shallow conversation full of lovely little promises that don't actually move the needle long term, can we have a deep conversation? Just type the word deep. If you're watching this on YouTube, be brave enough to be one of the first people to comment on this channel and type the word deep underneath this video. Deep. I'm going to go across and see if I can see any deeps here. Can I see any deeps? I have 0 comments, 0 views. Beautiful. I can keep dancing like no one is watching. So let's have a look at underneath the waterline. And we call this the sea of meaning, actually. So if you're brave enough to dive into the sea of meaning, and you, John, you, Sally, you, Mary, you, Ferdinand, you are brave enough to say, fuck, what is really meaningful in life? What really matters? What's really important to me? What makes me thrive? Which makes me sing? Which gives me all the energy to take on the world? And also just be aware, what takes away my energy, right? And so if we go underneath the iceberg, underneath the water here, and we say, well, what's underneath here? What's underneath here? Because what's in this iceberg here, what's in your life here, in your business here, the hidden things, these are the things that are going to make you thrive. This is going to say, do you go forward or do you go back? This is what's going to move you in the direction of success and of thriving. What's under the water, right? This is what's going to make you say at the end of your life, man, that was a blast. That was awesome. I'm glad I got to live This was fantastic, right? That's really what we want to say. And so if we jump in here, I'm just going to do a little bit of coloring, and I want you to think as you're watching, what could these three things be? What could the three things that give a human being's life, or a business even, it doesn't matter what the entity, as long as it's living and breathing and full of people, what is it that makes it truly successful? What is it that dictates the actual direction of it in this sea? I do a little purple sea here around the outside of the iceberg here. So I wonder what you think it is that you're going to say at the end of your life, that was great. Or, man, I really regret I didn't do more of that. Are you going to say, I wish I had chased after that shiny rabbit? Are you going to say, I wish I'd found a shortcut to making more money? That would have been awesome. Are you going to say, I wish I'd found out the secret of how to meditate better? Are you going to say those things? Or are you going to say something more simple? And what we know is that when people get to the end of their life here, there are three things that are important, three metrics. And if you build into them now, you can absolutely have everything you want. And the first metric here is connection. Every human being thrives off connection. Now we know that the direction of our life goes in a negative direction if we are surrounded by toxic people, right? We don't thrive. Even if we're surrounded by average people for us, we don't thrive. Or dull people, right? A workplace full of dull people is not typically that creative, right? And so connection is so vital here, but not just any kind of connection. We know that human beings really need catalytic connections. In chemistry, a catalyst is required to give a reaction energy. Either the chemical reaction between two substances won't happen at all without a catalyst, or it'll happen to be very weak, right? So we need the catalyst, and you need energizing people in your life, people who inspire you towards being more creative, people who inspire you to dream, people who inspire you to believe, right? People inspire you to take action. The more of these people you have in your life, the easier it is to be you. And we want you to be you, right? Now, the second thing that a human being really thrives off, and a business will thrive off too, and it will die if it doesn't have it, is conversations. A business where no one is talking to each other will almost certainly not work. A life where a human being is not really engaging with other human beings will not work. A business where there are no leads being generated because no one is being talked to won't work. But we don't just want conversations. We want energizing conversations, memorable conversations, life-changing conversations, business-growing conversations. We call these compelling conversations. The kinds of conversations that people just can't forget. And you could be having the shittiest, worst day of your life, and then one conversation with a friend just takes it to the next level. Conversely, you could be having the best day of your life, and a conversation with somebody just ruins it. And so we know that just as connections can't be toxic, average, or dull, our conversations can't be toxic, average, or dull. Not collectively. And we know that just as our connections should be creative, should inspire us to dream and believe, we also want to make sure that our conversations are creative. They inspire people to dream, to believe, and to take action. That's what changes lives. And so often we'll ask our clients, what kind of conversations will you be having? And normally, if things have been going down, not enough and not deep enough is the problem. The third thing that a human being really needs to thrive in life are what we call co-creators. We were made to build and create, but we weren't made to build and create on our own. And what we really need are committed co-creators, committed co-creators. If we have that, we can achieve incredible things. This is a very messy iceberg, isn't it? But you can see here, committed co-creators, they're not toxic, they're not average, they're not dull. They're also not uncommitted. They're not fickle. And they're also not selfish, right? If we have those, if we're working and surrounded by people who aren't committed to us, who are fickle and are only out for themselves, harder to create. But if we are with people who are loyal, who are steadfast, and who are generous, then we're creating with those people, we can build big, impossible things. And so if you think about what's under the iceberg in your life, if you are living a life, building a business, have connections who give you energy, having the kinds of conversations every day that keep you going, good times and bad times, memorable, life-giving, amusing, fun conversations. And if you are co-creating and building this thing with other people, we know you can just have an incredible life. Some of you, though, watching this, there's a little thing inside of you and it's going, yeah, but that's not all. I want something else. And you're right. And when we really looked at, okay, what's at the very base of the iceberg, if we dive even deeper, what's here? What's down here? What is it that you as a human being or you as an entity really need from your work, your time, your investment on this earth? And what we think through our work is we go, you know what? When we obsess about that, yes, you need these 3 things here, but you also want something else. And if you're if you're built on kindness and making an impact, if you're built on kindness and you have some ambition to matter, like you're a dream maker, you're a dream builder even right here. You're building your dream. Yes, you want to be surrounded by incredible people, but you also want just multi-dimensional, and we believe you deserve it too, success. It's time for people who are kind and ambitious to win. Now's the season. And so what we've done, in case you're wondering, is we've really examined this clearly, but we've built a model here with 9 accelerators, 9 things you need to do to build out the kind of world where you see unrelenting, multi-dimensional success. Success that cannot be stopped in every single area of your life. And it can't be stopped because you're surrounded by co-creators. You're having leveraged and compelling conversations every single day. And you've got these catalytic people who will support you in your dream no matter what. This, what's under the water, is what gives you real momentum in life. Is this helpful? Is it making sense? Let me ask everyone who's not watching on YouTube right now and everyone who's watching on replay or on Facebook or somewhere else, does this make sense? If you'd like to see our model, just comment model underneath and I'll show you those 9 phases that will make a huge difference in helping you build out the kind of life and kind of business that's human-centric, that's transforming the interpersonal space, that's making a huge difference. So please type model underneath this video, say hello, comment, subscribe to the channel. It's a little bit lonely here at the bottom of the world down in New Zealand. Hey, take special care. You're amazing people. It's been a pleasure to talk into the abyss, knowing that the right people will find this video. We will see you all soon.